What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to JDS NerdVerse. We're doing a playthrough today of Pokemon Silver. No rules, no nothing. It's just a normal playthrough. I have to re-familiarize myself with Pokemon Silver anyway. So we start the game off by selecting Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil, base stat total of 309, 39 HP, 52 attack, 43 defense, 60 special attack. We actually have special attack and special defense in Gen 2. Gen 1 is the only one that does just straight special. Special defense 50, speed 65. So not a bad starter. And then we evolve at level 14 into Q-Lava. Cyndaquil is also called the Fire Mouse Pokemon. It's kind of a weird name, but that's what it's called regardless. So level 14 we evolve into Q-Lava. Q-Lava has a base stat total of 405, so it goes up not quite 100 base power, but close. It's 94, I think, yeah. And then we get our HP is 58, so good increase there. Attack is 64, 58 defense. Special attack is 80, special defense is 65, and speed is 80. So not some bad stats. And our final evolution, which we get at level 36, is Typhlosion. Typhlosion's HP is 78, attack is 84, defense is 78, special attack is 109, special defense is 85, and our speed is 100, and rounding out our base stat total of 534. So pretty solid choice here for a starter, and I'll go over why we chose this starter instead of the other two here in a minute. But I just want to briefly go over its moveset. So we start the game out with Tackle and Leer. Not too bad, but Tackle is I don't like it. It doesn't have 100% accurate. I would rather have a 100% accurate move to start the game, but it's not bad. And then Leer is not bad either. It lowers the opposition's defense for us. Level 6 we get Smokescreen. It basically lowers the opposition's accuracy, kind of like Sand Attack. Level 12 we get Ember. That's our first stab move. It's 60 base power with stab, 100% accurate. And then we get Quick Attack at 19. We probably won't use Quick Attack because I think we get access to so many TMs early. But it's 40 base power, 100% accurate. Level 27. Now, we don't actually get this level 27. So, just like in previous generations, when we evolve, it pushes back when we learn things. This is Cyndaquil's moveset. I didn't want to go through all of them individually. I'm just showing just technically what everyone learns. So, Flame Wheel is a 60 base power, 100% accurate move, but it's 90 with our stab. And then 36 we get Swift. We can get Swift long before this, so we don't really need to learn it via TM. But it's 60 base power and 100% accurate. Actually, it doesn't miss. It's not 100%. Even if you get Sand Attack, it doesn't miss. And then level 46 we get Flamethrower. And like I said, with Typhlosion, I think it's just pushed back to like level 54 or something like that. 95 base power, 100% accurate. So it's stab. So what's the math on that? 42, 47 and a half. So yeah, add that to it, and you're looking at a 140 base power move. So very powerful. Some notable TMs. We have this is pretty broad. It's not the broadest one of them, all the Pokemon we have here, but pretty broad. Headbutt. Let's see, which ones we use here. Headbutt. I don't think we use Rollout with this Pokemon. I think another Pokemon uses Rollout. Hidden Power. Hyper Beam is available to us. Iron Tail. Earthquake. Earthquake and Dig are definitely available to us. Return. Since this is the first Pokemon, Return works very well. It goes off Friendship. Mud Slap, usable. Fire Blast obviously is pretty usable. And then Fire Punch is the other one. Now, we can't get Fire Punch until we evolve into Typhlosion. It has to do with the physiology of the Pokemon. Like, it has to be upright. So we also have to use an HM to balance this out. Because we're playing through. So this is kind of what playthrough is. And while it's paused, I can explain this. We are playing through like as if we were just trying to beat the game. Okay? I have certain rules I play through as. One, I don't like to use Pokemon from previous generations. So when I get a brand new game, so for example, Scarlet and Violet just came out. I don't like to use Pokemon that are not like brand new to this generation when I play through individually when I'm just playing through casually as myself, not like in a playthrough or whatever. Now, there are some caveats with this, and you'll see that later, and I'll explain why. But some Pokemon are from previous generations, but they have a this generation like adaptation or evolution, whatever. So keep that in mind. But that's traditionally how I personally like to play the game. All right, and like I said, we're building our team and playing through the game like we would casually. The reason why I'm doing this is I'm almost done with Pokemon Blue when it comes to my single Pokemon playthroughs, my playthrough challenges. So I'm trying to re-familiarize myself with Pokemon Silver. So I want to play through them starting very soon. But I just needed to re-familiarize myself with the game, like where things are, how to get some things like that. So that's why I'm doing this playthrough like this. So without further ado, let's continue with the playthrough. So that's Cyndaquil, that's Cute Lava, that's Typhlosion. Now, the reason why I chose to go with Cyndaquil was the 3 starters are Cyndaquil, Cyndaquil, Chikorita, and Totodile. So we can rule out Chikorita to begin with. As much as Chikorita is actually not a bad Pokemon, it's got good stats, it's got good moves, yada yada. The problem with that is this game is not friendly at all to Grass type. Grass type Pokemon have to deal with. This is all the gym leaders have to deal with. That's not even counting the Elite Four. I'm not even going to the Elite Four on this explanation. But the gym leaders have to deal with you have to deal with first gym is Flying type, which you're weak to. Second gym is Bug, you're weak to. So right there's 2 gyms that you have to contend with that you're weak to. The normal gym's not bad, so that one isn't really too bad. But even though Whitney's just hard for everyone initially, but once you figure it out, you just know what you got to deal with. Then you got Morty, which you're not going to have a good time against. Fighting type is not actually great. You're not great against, but I guess you do have a slight advantage against Poliwhirl or Poliwrath. So not a great advantage there. Steel type gym, you don't have any advantage there against Jasmine. You also have advantage against Ice type gym, and then you don't have an advantage against the Dragon gym. So nothing there you have a great advantage against, and that's not even counting the Elite Four. So that's why we pretty much just immediately rule out the Grass type starter in this game. Okay, we're going to play through the Grass type starter. I just want to let you know that this game is made to wreck and not be friendly at all to Grass type starters. Okay, so that leaves with Totodile and Cyndaquil. Now, Totodile is not a bad option. It's actually the choice of most speedrunners for this game. So the choice of most speedrunners is Totodile, and I thought about it, but here's the problem that I have with using Totodile. There are a ton of water types. Okay? There are a ton of water types in this game. Guess what there's not a lot of? Fire type. There's not a lot of fire type in this game. There's this Pokemon, you can get, I think you can get Magmar later, you might even get Slugma, and maybe Ponyta. That's it. There's 4. There's so many water type that we have options with water type that I think it's more precarious for, it's better for us if we use the fire type, and then we can add water types later. And actually we actually have 2 water types later, because Generation 2, you have like 3 HMs that are water type. And so either you got to get a water type, water Pokemon that's a TM HM Mule, and then you have to keep switching them in and out, or you just have to adapt your moveset to include the water type moves that you have to add to the game. So that's why I decided to go with Cyndaquil. Not to mention, I do like Cyndaquil. He's one of my favorite. He's probably my favorite starter in this generation. So yeah. So now here's our rival fight. Now that we explain a little bit and go over rival fight, we are fighting Totodile. We are level 9. We get the knockout pretty easily. It was pretty obvious. And so we're gonna race back. So that's the reason why we chose the starter we chose. Now we're gonna build our team here. We don't really get any. We don't get any Pokemon. We might get. No, we don't. We don't get Bellsprout until after the gym. So we do pick up one TM Mule for a while. And I looked it through, and the team that I'm deciding to pick is we're gonna need a grass. We're gonna need a Pokemon to use Cut, but I don't want to use Cyndaquil to use Cut and use Strength. He's gonna really deteriorate his moveset. So you're gonna hear me say this. This Gen 2 has some problems. Gen 1 had some problems when it came to movesets and things like that. Gen 2 has bigger problems. Like, we're fighting gym leaders here, or trainers here, and these trainers are having like level 2 and level 3 Pokemon, which we're way beyond that. It's not the level curve in this game is not skewed very well. So, for example, we're level 11. We're not having any kind of challenges from these trainers here, and it's because they didn't. And we forgot to talk to our mom. Sorry, Mom, we didn't talk to you before we left. And we just—it's a very bad level curve when it comes to trainers. So that's the one downside of this Pokemon game. So, like, for example, we get to a point in the game where we are, with a single playthrough, it's going to be insane, but we have to build a team. And in my opinion, this is my humble opinion, I don't think there's quite enough experience points to get you where you need to be with a full team. In my opinion, I think you get just close, but not quite where you need to be. Whereas in blue, there's enough trainers to get you just enough experience points where you're right at the right level as soon as you enter the Elite Four. So that's just my opinion. So we're not going to show Sprout Tower. We're not going to show those things. We're going to go right towards the gym. So here's a level 9 Spearow from the first trainer. The level 9 Spirit from the first trainer is the same level as the gym leader's best Pokemon, Pidgeotto. This is what I mean by the level curve is not great in this game. You're also at the first gym. In the first gym in Red and Blue, the Pokemon, I believe, were level 13 and 14. Geodude was 13. It might have been 12. It's 12 or 13, but I know Onix was level 14. And here's the battle with Faulkner. Faulkner comes out with a Pidgey. It's not going to be too bad because we have Ember and then Pidgeotto. And like I said, it's level 9. Literally the first trainer you walked in there and fought had a level 9 Pokemon. It's very weak. So now we're moving on and we're gathering Pokemon on the next route. We beat the gym leader and we're going to try to catch ourselves a Mareep, and he just does not want to be caught. So we're going to keep trying to catch him, Go in the Pokeball. Stay in the Pokeball. There we go. And this is Mareep. So, and I always get this Pokemon. This is why I don't like playing Pokemon Crystal. Pokemon Crystal, you cannot get this Pokemon. It's not available. But Mareep, Flaffy, Ampharos is like one of my favorite. It's my favorite electric type in Pokemon as of now. And there might be a better one later in the future that I pick. But let's go over the stats for Mareep. It's not the greatest stats, I'm not going to lie. But it's just typing, and it feels like a second starter to me. So Mareep, HP is 55, attack is 40, defense is 40, special 65, special attack is 65, special defense is 45, and speed is 35. So not a very fast Pokemon with a base stat total of 280. It's not great, but when it evolves, it does get a nice boost in its stats, and then when it gets its final stage, it gets a really nice boost. So when it evolves into Flaffy, and it evolves into Flaffy at level 15, it is also known as the wool Pokemon because it's a sheep. HP is 70, attack is 55, defense is 55. Special is 80. Special attack is 80. I keep saying special because I'm so used to Gen 1. Special defense is 60. Speed is 45. And its base stat total is 365. So a nice, decent increase there of 85 base power. And then at level 30, we evolve into Ampharos, where we get 90 HP, 75 attack, 75 defense, 115 special attack, 90 defense, and 55 speed. So not a very fast Pokemon. However, a base stat total of 500. It makes for a very good number 2 Pokemon. And then here's the moveset. We get Tackle and Growl, kind of similar to Cyndaquil. At level 9, we get Thunder Shocks. That's pretty good. 40 base power, 60 base power with Stab, 100% accurate. Thunder Wave never really comes in handy, but we do get it, and we do add it to the repertoire. And then we get Cotton Spore, and I think we get that just because we're the wool Pokemon. But Cotton Spore is not very useful. And by the way, Ampharos is called the light Pokemon. I've never heard that before. I don't know why it's called that. But nonetheless, it is called the light Pokemon. Very weird Pokemon. I don't know if I said this, but Cyndaquil, Q-Lava and Typhlosion were called the Volcano Pokemon. Don't know why that is, but that's the name of the Pokemon. Very interesting indeed. But moveset, I don't know why we get Cotton Spore. It's a grass type move. I don't know why we learned that. It's actually not as powerful as Thunder Wave, just has more power points. So I'd rather use Thunder Wave. If I'm going to paralyze Pokemon, I'd rather use Thunder Wave. It's almost an automatic hit. Level 30, we get Light Screen, which helps our defense. And level 37, we get Thunder. We'll probably get Thunder. Well, this is Mareep's moveset, so it does get pushed back a little bit, just like the previous Pokemon. Some notable moves in the TM moveset: Headbutt, Zap Cannon, Thunder. Thunder Punch is actually a very, very, very awesome move to get with this Pokemon. I think Ampharos can get it via level up. I'm not 100% sure. But we always just give it Thunder Punch as soon as we evolve into Flaffy anyway. And the TM that this Pokemon is responsible for learning is Flash. Okay? So that's this Pokemon. I really like this Pokemon. I use it every time I play through. As soon as I get by Faulkner's gym, the first thing I do is grab myself a Mareep, a Flaffy, Mareep / Flaffy / Ampharos, and take it, and I have a second starter in my opinion. That's the way I feel about it. So let's go and continue with this playthrough. I have it set for like a couple seconds for it to sit there so I can pause it. But then we move on and catch our next Pokemon. Now, and near the ruins, you can actually catch a Poliwag. It's a very low percentage, but I'm going to catch a Poliwag. Now, this is one of the Pokemon I said I'm going to take some creative liberties, I guess is the best way to put it. And I decided to have to catch Poliwag. Now, Poliwag can technically evolve into a different Pokemon in this generation, which is Politoed, which is my cop-out for getting this Pokemon. But I only evolve it into Poliwhirl because you can't get a fire or a water stone until later in the game. And I've only worked with these two for the most part through most of this game. So, Poliwag, its base stat total is 300, 40 HP, 50 attack, 40 defense, 40 special attack, 40 special defense. I almost said special only again. 40 special defense and 90 speed. So it's very fast Pokemon, 300 base power. And yeah, it's not bad, but at I think it's level 23. Yeah, 25, I'm sorry. 25, we evolve into Poliwhirl. Poliwhirl's stats go to 65 HP, 65 attack, 65 defense, 50 special attack, 50 special defense, and 90 speed. So get no increase in speed. Speed stays exactly the same. That's kind of weird. That we get legs and arms and whatever, we don't get any faster. Maybe it's, I don't know. I have no idea. It's really weird. So the level up moveset's what's in the middle here. Sorry it's all combobulated weird on the page. I was just trying to get it all on one page so they have to like do multiple pages like a normal prediction video or whatever. So we get Bubble to start the game, which is garbage, but it's 30 base power with Stab. Hypnosis is good, put Pokemon to sleep. Water Gun is great at level 13, so it's 60 base power. It's twice as powerful as Bubble. Double Slap is we get that at level 19. 15 base power, 85% accurate, hits multiple times. Rain Dance ups our water moves, so if Rain Dance initiated or Water Gun or Surf, whatever we get is that much more powerful. We get Body Slam at 85, which is a good move. It can paralyze, 100% accurate. We get Belly Drum, which if you deplete half your health, it boosts your attack stats immensely. Now here's the problem with that is I get that move, but we don't have a great defense, so we can't really take any hits. So that's the problem with this Pokemon. But it's my favorite Pokemon from Gen 1, and I like using it in these playthroughs because I feel in these playthroughs you need 2 water types because of all the HMs you have to use. Surf Muse is like one of your moves because it's that powerful. But yeah, it's weird to me. It's very weird to me. That's the best way to put it. And then Hydro Pump, you get a 43, which 120 base power, 80% accurate. I never use this move because it's just so non-accurate to me. So some notable moves that we add to our moveset is Headbutt. We also can add Blizzard. We also can get Earthquake. Psychic is not a bad move. Mud Slap isn't a bad move. Ice Punch we can add. And then we can also get Surf, Whirlpool, and Waterfall. We kind of need those. So I think I get Surf and Whirlpool with this one, or maybe Waterfall. It's one of those two. I know I definitely get Surf with this Pokemon because I get another water type here in a little bit. But yeah, that's the Poliwag, Poliwhirl line. And looking at it, it's not the greatest Pokemon to keep through this playthrough because you can't evolve. If we could evolve it, it'd be great. But we kind of can't because you just can't get a Water Stone. And this is where Pokemon Crystal would be nice to play through as, because Pokemon Crystal you can get a Water Stone before the Elite Four. So then we catch our next Pokemon in Wooper. So Wooper has a base stat total of 210, so it's not very good. 55 HP, 45 attack, 45 defense, 25 special attack, 25 special defense, and 15 speed. So it's very slow, but it does get some pretty nice things when you evolve it. So you evolve into Quagsire, your stats go to 430. Your HP is 95, attack is 85, defense is 85, special attack and special defense are 65, so those are pretty good. And your speed is 35. So it's not the fastest Pokemon, but you do get some decent speed. You get some decent stats across the board. 430 is a very respectable base stat. So I guess Poliwag is probably my worst Pokemon now I'm looking at this. Okay, so yeah. So I didn't say this before, but Poliwag is the tadpole Pokemon. Weird name for it. And this is the Wooper is the waterfish Pokemon. I don't know what that is. But we evolve into Quagsire level 20. I always get this Pokemon, and it's early in the game, so I like to establish my water type, my rock, my fire type, my electric type. If I get grass early. I like to get all my Pokemon as early as possible. And he's one of the few Pokemon that's early, so I'm like, you know what, I always just pick him. It's just habit. It's habitual. So we start off with Water Gun. 60 base power with Stab, 100% accurate. Tail Whip, it lowers the opposition's defense. We don't really use it. Slam we use for like 10 minutes, and then we get rid of it. 80 base power, 75% accurate. With a slow Pokemon, that's really not a great move to have. 21 we get Amnesia, which boosts our special. I don't think that comes in handy too much because we don't have a lot of special moves, to be honest. A lot of our moves are physical damaging. So it'd be better if we had like Swords Dance. That'd be much better with this Pokemon. 31, we get Earthquake. We also get Rain Dance. We get Mist. We get Haze. We don't use either one of those. Actually, I don't think we use Rain Dance with this Pokemon either. This Pokemon is responsible for doing Whirlpool. So he only has 3 moves we can do. So Earthquake is definitely one we're going to keep. And then when you look at the TM move pool, Headbutt is usable. Rollout is pretty usable. Hidden Power, Hyper Beam. Like I said, Earthquake is very good to use, and we're going to use it via level up. Dig we will get pretty early in the game, but we probably won't give it to him. We'll give it to someone else because it's going to have other moves. Mud Slap, it's a pretty solid move. This is actually a water ground type, so all ground moves are also stab, so Mud Slap's a good one to have for that. We could have used Sandstorm. We didn't use it. I'm trying to think of any other moves we used. We could have used Surf, but I didn't want 2 Pokemon to have Surf, even though it probably would have been its strongest water type. We basically had Quagsire do all the ice moves, and Poliwhirl do all the water moves. So that's how I split that up. So we need ice moves to progress the game, and Ice Punch is very good to have. If only we were ice type, this really could be a very effective Pokemon. So that's our that's what 4 of our Pokemon so far. So we get 4 Pokemon. So let's rehash that. Cyndaquil, we get Cyndaquil. Then we get Mareep. Then we get Poliwag, and then we get Wooper. So now we have 4 Pokemon, and we also pick up a Bellsprout just so we have a Pokemon that can do Cut until we get the next Pokemon that can actually do Cut. And now we're fighting the boring. This game has some of the most boring rocket plot lines in all of Pokemon. It really does. But we're fighting the rockets in the Slowpoke well, and all we gotta do, we just really can't take to the next gym until we do this. So we have nothing we can do right now until this is done. So yeah, and we just want to get some experience. That's really the best part about all this. We're going to get some experience. We want to increase our experience yields that we're getting from the Pokemon we're training. So Cyndaquil evolved into Q-Lava. He's at like level 16 or 17 right now through this whole process. So what we're trying to do is trying to use like our other Pokemon that we caught, like the Wooper, like the Poliwag, Mareep even, and just trying to get them leveled up. So I try to balance out the leveling up as much as possible. Sometimes I will just go all in on one Pokemon for a while just so they can get to a point where they get a better move or even evolve. So now some of my intentions were this game. So I'm using what's called the Universal Pokemon Randomizer, where you can disable some things and turn on some things. One of them I turn on is the instant text. It's like instead of like having it like scroll through like a typewriter typing it out, it instantly just flashes up the text. Okay, so that's one thing it does. The second thing it does is I can disable the level up, the evolutions that are based on like weird things like having to hold something and trade it to another game, whatever case may be, or if you just have to like trade something to another Pokemon game like Machamp or like Machoke to Machamp or whatever. So you can use the Pokemon Randomizer and disable those things. So I guess I clicked on the wrong one. You're gonna see like I pick a Pokemon and it doesn't evolve like when it's supposed to, and I guess I clicked on the wrong ROM that I created for this. so keep that in mind, that was not intentional. The whole intent here was to have the Pokemon evolve at a certain level, so I can use a Pokemon that's that came out in this game. All right, there we go. So we're fighting. I think we're fighting the boss now. The boss isn't very difficult. We still, even though they might be a little bit higher level. Okay, so we beat that plot line, and now we're moving on to Bugsy's gym. Bugsy's gym isn't super difficult because we do have a fire type Pokemon, so we have the ultimate Kabosh. We just want to get everyone experienced and leveled up, so on and so forth. And come on, and we're okay, yeah. So I like Bugsy's gym because there's a lot of like trainers in here we can level up with. I think it's really weird. This is also weird with this generation, where if you play Generation 1, every gym progresses and gets like either there's more trainers in there or there's more Pokemon. Hey, we evolve into Flaffy. I used to always say every time I threw it out, Flaffy, just like all monotone. In Gen 1, like the gyms, not only do they progress when it comes to the amount of Pokemon that the gym leaders have. So, for example, first 2 gyms in Gen 1, Brock has 2 Pokemon, Misty has 2 Pokemon. And then the third Pokemon has 3 Pokemon. Okay, third gym. The fourth gym has fourth Pokemon with Erica. Yeah, no, Erica only has 3 Pokemon. Then you get to Koga. Koga has 4. Then you get to, I think it's Sabrina. Sabrina has 4. Then you get to Blaine. Blaine has 4. Giovanni has 5, and it just progresses through the game pretty consistently. It doesn't progress the game consistently here. It also doesn't progress through the game consistently how many trainers are in the gym. I think it should be pretty you should have a decent amount of, like in this one, I think there's 4 or 5 trainers. The first gym there was 2. Okay? In this one there's 4 or 5. In the next gym there's like 4 or 5. Then you get to Morty where there's only 4. And then you get all the way over to what's his name, Chuck, and Chuck doesn't have he has about the same amount as the previous 2, but he only has 2 Pokemon, whereas Morty had 4. So it just doesn't make sense to me. Like the level curve, and like I said in this game, is what is detrimental to this game. There's actually another PokeTuber out there. I can't remember his name right now off the top of my head, but he's actually doing a ROM hack where he fixes a lot of these issues. So yeah, I might actually play that game. I'm not sure, but there's a ROM hack where he's like fixing a lot of like level up issues, which this game doesn't have a lot of level up issues. Let's just be honest. But yeah. So now we're moving on to Bugsy, which I always thought this was a girl, but he's actually a boy. And so Poliwag comes out. Hypnosis, very good. We're going to use Water Gun. It's about a third, maybe a quarter. Yeah, it's about a quarter. And one more, very good. Get the knockout. Almost levels up. Now this is also one thing that makes these Pokemon games. Whenever you play through with a single Pokemon, you can disable it asking you if you want to switch Pokemon, which saves you seconds in every battle, a couple seconds per battle. It's going to ask that unless you're fighting like wild Pokemon. So the one thing about this, you have to leave that up if you want any chance of like winning, so you can switch out your Pokemon at ease. At any given moment, you can switch out your Pokemon, done. And you can have a type advantage, or you can eliminate a type advantage that the opposition would have had. So almost done. It just infuriates me a little bit that Ember should be a one-shot on this, but it's not. So we beat Bugsy, and we move on to our second rival fight. Now, the rival in this game is not like the rival in the first game, and in Red and Blue. The rival in this game sucks. He can be tricky. If you're playing through a single playthrough, he can be tricky because he has a Ghastly, and the Ghastly sometimes can't get hit by certain things. So that can be tricky. But his other Pokemon, not very tricky at all. Zubat, not tricky. Just gotta be able to hit it. As soon as you hit it, it's very weak. It's a very weak Pokemon. It does have some good evolution, a good third stage in this, which is Crobat in this game. But now we're using out the Croconaw, and that's an electric type move, and Croconaw is not getting knocked out. It's kind of weird to me, but it is what it is. And then we beat this Pokemon, and we go and we get this, talk to this guy, and he gives us Headbutt. Headbutt gives us the ability to give someone an actual extra move instead of just like a normal move. So Poliwag got that because it just has Bubble and Tackle at that point. Might have Double Slap. It's getting close to it. So now we're in Whitney's gym, and like I said, there's a handful of trainers in here. So like I was talking about the trainer, like how many trainers are in a gym. You have a handful of trainers in this gym that are. It's not bad. I think Bugsy had 4. This one, I think you have 4 or 5. So there's 1. I'll just count after doing it. 1. There's 2. I think there's at least 4. So I think you get 4 in this one. But then when you get to Morty, Morty has exactly 4 as well. And then when you get to Chuck, I think Chuck has 4. But then there's not 4 in Jasmine's gym. Jasmine has no trainers in her gym, so you can't get any extra experience points in her gym. Gyms are supposed to be made that not only do you get the badge, or the gym badge, but you also, there's a lot of experience yields you can get in those confined areas. It's such a rapid amount of experience you can get in such a really short amount of time in a confined area. That's the point, and I feel like this game didn't respect that aspect of the game. So yeah, there's 4 girls in here. Okay, so this is the 4th Pokemon, and we're 4th trainer, and she's pretty easy. It ain't easy being cheesy. Knock out the Jigglypuff, and let's see here. Mud Slap, Mud Slap, Mud Slap. Mud Slap's a good move. It lowers accuracy, so that's one of the main benefits of doing it. It's not very powerful, but it does lower accuracy, which is great. Now we're facing Whitney. Whitney is usually, this is like what people vote as sometimes one of the hardest gym leaders ever, because you go into the normal gym like it's a normal gym. What the heck? Why would I be afraid of the normal gym? And then you get this milk tank comes out, and this milk tank can just wreck your freaking world. I don't know how many times when I was young, when I first started playing this, I'd go against her, and she just wrecked my team with rollout. So yeah, So now we move on, and we're trying to get our next Pokemon, which is gonna be Scyther. So let's see here. The way you catch this is you have to do the bug training competition. So that's what we're doing right now. Is we're doing the bug training competition so we can catch a Scyther. And yeah, he's a pain in the butt. He's definitely a pain in the butt. And we're gonna just keep doing this until we get him. Definitely a pain in the butt. It is what it is, but we want to get the Pokemon. So, oh, and we catch it. Very good. So the initial intent was to get Scyther, and I think I blew the things up too big, so because they're kind of blurry. But Scyther's moveset, or I'm sorry, stat line is 70 HP, 110 attack. So that's very good. Defense is 80, 55 special, 80 special. I'm sorry, 55 special attack. I did it again. 80 special defense, and 100 speed, 105 speed. With the base stat total of 500. Now, I mean, when it comes to like where your stats are allocated, some things change when you evolve into Scizor. You get slower, but your defense goes up. Your attack actually goes up. So that's really the one thing that changes. They suck numbers out of your speed and throw it at your defense and attack. So yeah, it does change a little bit, but it's not bad. Now the initial intent was to evolve Scyther into Scizor, but I guess I used the wrong hack, or maybe I just didn't do it right, or not the wrong hack, but the wrong. I did the Universal Pokemon Randomizer, and you can disable that. And at level 37, Scyther is supposed to evolve into Scizor. I don't know if that was required that he had the metal coat or not. I'm going to have to look that up. But I was playing through at 37. I'm like, yes, Scizor. No, nothing happened. So it is what it is. So the level up moveset with this Pokemon, pretty broad. I'm going to quickly go through it. Quick attack is a 40 base power normal move. You get that early. Leer, Focus Energy is garbage. Focus Energy is garbage. Pursuit is 40 base power. Not much better than Quick Attack. It might have an advantage against some Pokemon, so it's good to have. False Swipe is the same as Pursuit and Quick Attack, so I thought it was something better, but it doesn't do anything better. Agility boosts your attack, or boosts your speed, so probably not useful. This Pokemon is pretty fast. Where it would be nice in Gen 1, you can do Badge Boost. You don't have the Badge Boost in this generation. Level 30, you get Wing Attack, which Wing Attack in this generation is much better than it was in Gen 1. 60 base power, 100% accurate, but it's also stab because this is a bug flying Pokemon. So now you're looking at a 90 base power move. Slash is a 70 base power move. Swords Dance ups our attack, and double team ups our evasiveness against any Pokemon. So the TM moveset is very shallow, but we get Headbutt, we can get Rock Smash, Secret Power, Hidden Power, Sunny Day, Hyper Beam, Swift. We can get Swift as well. Fury Cutter, we can get that as soon as we beat the Bug Gym, which it's garbage. Now I'm seeing it's 10 base power. I didn't pay attention to that before I played. It's kind of a garbage move. Why would I give that to my Pokemon? Just give them something better. And then Steel Wing we can get later. We can add it too. So not a broad move set, but enough that it would help. Now if we got Scizor, that does change a lot because there's a lot of steel moves you can get, and it's really good stab moves with some steel stuff. So yeah, that's why we chose Scyther. Was the original intent to get the Scizor. It was either I was going to choose Scyther or I was going to choose Heracross. And in hindsight, should choose Heracross because I couldn't evolve Scyther anyway. Heracross is good, but I've had so many frustrating times trying to get a Heracross. Because what you have to do is you have to get Headbutt, and then you got to backtrack to a certain part of the game and headbutt trees until a Heracross falls out of it. And it can take forever to do. I've spent literally real-time hours trying to get a damn Heracross. And it's a good Pokemon, but that's another Pokemon as an example of weird level skewing, or move skewing. So we're facing our third rival fight at this point. His Pokemon are not very good. So there's an example where Pursuit is useful. Pursuit that was level 15 Scyther, and it two-shot the Haunter, Haunter. Two-shot Haunter, there we go. And then Cyndaquil knocks out the Magnemite. Croconaw comes out. We want to send out Flaffy to take out the Croconaw. We have Thunder Punch now. It's still not a one-shot. Don't know how it's not, but still not a one-shot. But we get the knockout. And then Zubat comes out, and we're going to throw out Scyther. Scyther's going to use Pursuit. Doesn't do squat. Headbutt doesn't do bad. We don't want to let him get knocked out. We want to get experience. So that's the whole point of putting him first, is he gets experience. So we get the knock. As soon as we get the knockout, it's going to be great. There we go. Excellent. Get the knockout, and now we move on to These are the Komodo girls. So what they are is all of them have a EV evolution, and if you beat them all, they give you Surf. So that's fantastic. One, this is just like what a gym leader should be. Is a lot of combination of a lot of experience in one area in a confined space. Very, very quickly. You can get a lot of experience here. Okay. And headbutt, and one more headbutt. There we go. The knockout. Move on to the next one. Not to mention, you can see all the EV evolutions. So they added 2 EV evolutions this game: Umbreon and Espeon. There's Umbreon right there. It's a cool looking one. I actually have a plush of this, the shiny version, in my room that I'm in right now. So I'm here. All the Pokemon I have Umbreon. I have Torchic. I have Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander. So there's all the I have a Snorlax as well. So there's all the plush Pokemon that I have in this room right now. Okay, so now we're moving on to Morty, I think. Yep. Okay, yeah, Morty. Well, actually, I was wrong. Morty has 5 Pokemon. Oh no, this is one of the trainers in there. Okay, so we're not at Morty. We're in Morty's gym. We're just facing his trainers. So again, this is a good example of a good, like, this is why you do this. There's literally 5 Pokemon here. You get experience from 5 different Pokemon, and like you can just level up pretty well. So now we're going to go heal. I heal a lot in this game because I didn't remember a lot of things, so I wasn't prepared for everything. I didn't lose any battles where like I have to black out and go do something, so that's good. But and there we go. Skyther back out. Wing attack would do really well against these ghost type Pokemon. And I don't have wing attack yet, so yeah. But I do have Fury Cutter, and Fury Cutter builds. So the way Fury Cutter builds, kind of like Rage, is you have an attack, and then it gradually, like, attack pretty much doubles every turn for 4 turns. So it's very powerful. So if you have a train of like 5 or 6 Pokemon, it does build power very, very, very quickly. So I'm going to do it again. No, False Swipe doesn't hit him. So I'm switching out to Q Lava. And Q Lava is going to get the knockout here. So I was talking about the level curve in this game. So here's what I mean. So right now we're in what's I call like right near the mid game, where we can go one direction or the other. Now this is where Silver's pretty nice, is you can go whatever direction you want. If you want to go east in this, and you want to head towards Lake of Rage area, you can. Or if you want to go west and go towards like Jasmine's gym and go towards like Chuck and use surf to the I don't remember what the islands are here. But if you want to do that, you can. But the problem is the levels for all the trainers all stay the same. So you can kind of pick your own destiny. They don't skew the levels up one way or the other, where if you're supposed to go to the west and then go east later, the east trainers are not leveled up higher to give you more effective damage yields or experience yields. They stay the same, so you have the open world choice to go either way. So now I'm facing Morty. Morty. My wife hates it when I do that. When we watch Rick and Morty, I can do a pretty good impression of Rick doing the Morty talk. And we're about to get knocked out. Flaffy, you're about to get knocked out. What the heck, Flaffy? Okay, we get the knockout on the Haunter. So I have 2 Pokemon left, Gengar, and I think it's another Ghastly. And this is something that's also weird about Gen 2, which is a lot of the gym leaders have a lot of Gen 1 Pokemon, and I don't know why. I don't know what the point in that was. Maybe there's not a lot of variety, I get that, but you have Mischievous, which was a Pokemon added to this gen that you could have thrown in this. Okay, it can be done. You just lazy people are lazy. It's like the first gen, we have a Pidgey and Pidgeotto. Okay, that's Gen 1's regional. That's Gen 1's regional bird. Why couldn't you just have, I don't know, Exetu? You could have Noctowl. There's a bunch of options. But we are kind of in dire straits right now, so we're down to 3 Pokemon. We have Skyther, which I think Skyther's best move is to go for Fury Cutter. And if we can get this Pokemon knocked out... Oh, wow. Okay, I did a lot. How do you miss a Dream Eater on a Pokemon sleeping? And we get knocked out. So now we're down to our last 2. And Hypnosis does nothing. And we put him to sleep. Surf does not much at all. It's better than nothing, though. It is doing some damage. And we're going to go for Surf and just do one more Surf to knock it out. No potions, very good. And then Poliwag evolved in level 23. And we're going to Haunter, we're going to put him to sleep. We're going to use some very cheesy sleep strats. But our Surf does a little bit better. We leveled up and it's a weaker Pokemon, so it's got less stats, like defense, like special. And we get the win against Morty. Not a very convincing win. It was like very close. So now we're in Lighthouse. So Lighthouse gives us the ability to get some quick experience. That's my personal opinion. Get some experience. And speaking of Noctowl, there he is. So, yeah, that's the problem with this game. This game's great, but the problem was they didn't skew up Pokemon trainers for your leveling. They're like you'll see here in a little bit. Actually, you won't, because I think I cut a lot of the traveling stuff out. But essentially, when you go west, the Pokemon trainers to the west have the same level of Pokemon as the east. So it's not forcing you to go a different direction. Where this is kind of similar in Pokemon Blue is whenever you get out of Celadon City, you can go Celadon to get to Fuchsia City. You can go down Bicycling Road, or you can go down whatever the route's called below Lavender Town. And the reason why that's they're both the same is because you gotta go one or two ways. You gotta get by a Snorlax, one or the other. So that's why it's the same. So you're not picking one or the other, and that's the only part of the game where it's skewed like that. So like when you go to Cinnabar Island and you fight in the mansion, the trainers there have higher level Pokemon. The wild Pokemon are higher level Pokemon as well. So you're not missing out on that. You're not losing that aspect of this. Whereas, in Red and Blue, in this game, you don't have that. You don't have. I don't think the gym leader, the trainers along the path don't give you that threshold or amount of experience you need to get through certain parts of the game. So it results in you doing a little bit of grinding. It results in you facing, trying to find every trainer possible to find. You go back, you retrack, and you find trainers hidden in, like the well. You got trainers hidden in Union Cave, so on and so forth, that you need Surf and Strength to get to. So we're almost to the top. We're just fighting these extra trainers here, and it's just good to get these experience yields. And yeah, so while I'm here, if you made it this far, I appreciate you watching. But just want to let you know that a lot of my viewers are not subscribers, so it'd be great if you hit the subscribe button. It'd be great if you commented. All those things are great and good for the YouTube algorithm. Okay, they help a lot with just getting videos out there. The more comments, the more likes, the more interaction in the video engagement, it makes the video show up in more people's search. So it helps channels like this grow. I don't know if you've ever watched my channel before, but if this is your first time, I'm literally a dad of 2. I work about 50 hours a week, and I do this in my spare time. Either I gotta get up really early in the morning, or I gotta get up really late at night to do it. So, and we evolved in the Poliwag, yay, or Poliwhirl. So yeah, so that's just what I'm asking for is give a little like, give a little comment, so on and so forth. Are we leaving? Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, we got the next stop. Next step, got it. And I didn't know what that move was, so I went to look it up. So now we're at Bird Keeper. See, these battles are it's not very hard, and they don't skew these. Actually, these ones are actually pretty close, so I'll give these ones credit. We're level 23, roughly 24, 23 in that area, and these trainers are level 20, so that's pretty close to ours. So I can't complain about that one. And yeah, so the team's pretty well balanced at this point. I wouldn't say it's like great, but it is pretty well balanced compared to other teams I've had in the past. And like I said, I usually don't like to use Pokemon from previous generations. Poliwhirl has evolves into Politoed in this generation, not just Poliwrath. So that's the cop out I have with that. And Scyther originally was going to evolve into Scizor, so you can see it on screen, but something happened. I don't remember. I think I used the wrong. I think I created a ROM that was like strictly for like this playthrough to have it so like Scyther could level up at a level and to Scizor and the fast text. I don't think I have the fast text, so now I'm looking at it, it looks like it's scrolling by. And so now we should be able to get the medicine for talk to Jasmine about the medicine. Alright, so now we're moving on to this gym, and I go into this gym, see the fight I'm about to fight, the first couple trainers in here, and I get one shot basically by a Hitmonlee, and Hitmonlee is not exactly the greatest, but I mean Hitmonlee's pretty good actually when it comes to like in a single playthrough, at least in Gen 1. One of my fastest playthroughs in Gen 1 was like an hour and like 9 minutes or something, an hour and 10 minutes just playing through with him. So we're just trying to get through this battle because we have very low level yields here. They're level 27. That's not even the gym leader yet, and that's higher level. So I'm like, you know what? I'll double back and do this. Even though we don't have fly and I gotta travel a lot by foot, we got a lot of trainers we can fight. We can go knock out this Gyarados, get a little bit of experience there, and then we can start the very boring and very frustrating Rocket plot line. Now, I skipped over showing you all that because, like I said, it's all boring. But now we're in the gym, and now we have better level matchups. We have a better chance of winning this battle. Chuck can be tough. That Poliwrath is a very tough Pokemon. Poliwrath has Dynamic Punch. Also has Take Aim. I think it might have Amnesia as well. So it's a very tough Pokemon. So we're going to have a heck of a time trying to get them knocked out. But I wanted to at least make sure we had a better level because I don't want to get like resets unless I have to. I don't want to reset and black out and restart over or go back to the save point over and over again. If I can avoid it, I can. And with the team playthrough, I have a little bit more flexibility because if you have a type missing match, you can just switch it up and then go right out and like use your type advantage. So now I think I'm in that cynical phase. And that cynical phase that I talk about is I get to a point with cynical, I'm like, you know what, let's get him to level 36. That's when he evolves, and then when we do that, we can give him Fire Punch, which is better than Flame Wheel. So here we are at Chuck. Chuck. Chuck throws a boulder, tries to intimidate us. It doesn't work. And then he comes out with no shirt on. And then we have Primate comes out. Swift, it does about a little over a quarter, so maybe it's about a third. And it doesn't do too much damage to us, honestly. With Fury Swipes, we do level up to level 30. And then Poliwrath comes out. So to counter Poliwrath, we're just going to go with our electric type. Hypnosis misses, thank goodness. And we paralyze, thank goodness as well. Very easy Chuck win. Maybe we could beat Chuck earlier, but I just like to be safe than sorry. So with that, we learned Fly. And I thought I'd show this battle because when we beat this little Geodude in Union Cave, we evolve into Ampharos. And now we have a bunch of fully evolved, at least one fully evolved Pokemon. And Ampharos. We also have Quagsire too, so there's two fully evolved. Yeah, Poliwhirl's not going to get fully evolved in this game. You'll see why. So now we're in, I think it's Price's gym. Price is the Ice gym leader. Okay? He gives you the... He's actually not... he's not very tough. The next one can be pretty tough. But yeah. Price is the Ice gym leader, and there's not a lot going on in here. And we keep pausing this for some reason. Okay, I'm just going to skip by that. Okay. And there's a decent amount of trainers in here for experience. I'm just skipping through to the actual battle we're gonna have against Price. Okay, there you go. It's coming. It's like one more battle away. So we've beaten all the gyms up to the last two. So the last two are Price's gym with Ice type, and also what's her name? Claire? Is it Claire? I think it's Claire. We'll figure out her in a minute. But yeah, I had to re-familiarize myself with this game. I have played this game before. Do not get me wrong. I have definitely played this game before. I played a lot of Pokemon game. But this one was one I played, and then for a while I hadn't played it. It's a game that can get very frustrating. So I played it for a while, and now so now we're at Price. Very good. So there's Price in his oldness. He won't even turn to look at us. He's got his back to us. Look at that. Don't even turn to look. Just look over that shoulder. Old, dramatic jerk. Okay. So, rollout. We're going to get our rollout started. Rollout is 2. And we missed. So, we got to start all over again with this rollout. And he's supposed to only get two levels of, like, sleep there, but he got 3. Okay. Or 2 turns, I should say. Dugong comes out. We're not going to skip it. Our rollout has been building, so very good. Very good knockout. And then the last one, Piloswine. Piloswine, got to start all over again. And he's going to beat us. Yeah, there we go. But we have other Pokemon. I'm not too worried about Piloswine. So, Hypnosis, put him to sleep. Headbutt doesn't do very much. I think Piloswine is Ice Rock. I think that's his typing. So Headbutt's not going to do a whole lot to us. And we're going to do Headbutt. We're going to go for Surf. Surf actually almost one-shots the damn thing. So I should have done that to begin with. Oh well, we get the knockout. We don't level up there, but we get the knockout. We beat Price. And now we're moving on to, I think her name is Claire. We're in her gym. Her gym is full of dragon-type Pokemon. Well, some are dragon, some are actually water-type, pretend to be dragon. So, like, for example, this is something I discovered when I was doing some of my predictions for my Gen 1 vids, is somehow Horsea and Seadra are called the dragon Pokemon. They were named that for I guess for the typing came out. And I can respect that, and they want to evolve it into a Kingdra. So, I get it, but it's just kind of funny, but not fun at the same time. I don't know. It's kind of weird that you got a bunch of guys that run this game. There's just so much oversight not done to check these things. But, okay. Alright, so now we're at the point where we need to get... I did that wrong. So, I'm going to go through that again. And we're going to reverse it. Yeah, there you go. There you go, buddy. I do, but I don't like the puzzles that we have to accomplish in some of these games. I don't like it. I think it's just like, let me play the game. So let me go fight the trainers. Trainers can be hard enough as it is. Okay, Body Slam. What does Body Slam do? Almost a one-shot. Very good. We are paralyzed, so hopefully we can just get the knockout. Probably gonna have to go out anyway and get the heal and then come back in. Thunder Punch. Very good. So now we're facing Claire. I skipped over the other trainers. They're not important to show. What is important to show is that we beat Claire. So Claire, all Dragon type. So Dragon is weak to Ice, and I'm still trying to just get experience with the Poliwhirl, so I'm not throwing out my Pokemon with Ice moves, which is Quagsire. He has Ice Punch, which Poliwhirl can actually Ice Punch too, so maybe I should have just done that. But Body, I don't know what move to get rid of. I mean, maybe Rain Dance, because I really don't use Rain Dance very long. So there's a knockout, very good. And we're just going to quick switch to Quagsire to make these very trivial battles. And we get paralyzed, which is awesome. So if you don't have an ice move, when you have the Seadra come out, or Kingdra come out, you can be up you know what creek without a paddle. It can get tough. Now we also have a fire type Pokemon. We're not going to use Fire Punch. I think it's resistant to fire actually. So it doesn't do bad actually. It does about a quarter. Let's see how much Strength does. Strength does a little bit more. It does about half damage. And so we get the knockout there. So that's one thing about Strength. Is actually not a horrible move if you have to add it to your a Pokemon's moveset. So Kingdra, there's a Thunder Punch. There's two. And Claire gets a Hyper Beam in, you little cheater. Okay. And then we have... There we go, we get the knockout. So very good. Very good. Now we beat Claire, and that means we're on to get this Pokemon, which is Lugia. Now, I should have just done since what we're playing through as is just like a... just trying to beat the Elite Four aspect, so a little bit of a spoiler. I'm not going to be facing the gym leaders like Brock and them. And the reason why that is I initially planned to, but again, not familiarize myself with it. This took a lot of time and took a lot of time with other videos. When I play through with each individual Pokemon, when I do an individual playthrough, I 100% intend on playing through with and playing through all the way till Red. But I think that what happened was, and maybe I'm just wrong in this, I did not pick up the bike. And you have to pick up the bike to get to a certain part of the game, and I don't have the bike. So, and here is Lugia. So we don't have to level up Lugia very much. He comes right out of the box, no pun, or right out of the Pokeball, no pun intended. Very powerful. 106 HP, 90 attack, 130 defense, 90 special attack, 154 special defense, 110 speed, 680 base power Pokemon Lugia. Very powerful. I'm going to go over some of its moves, but we're not going to use most of these because we're not going to get... He doesn't have to level that much when we get him. Area Blast, Safeguard, Gust, Remove, Recover. Those are the 4 moves it starts with. It can learn Hydro Pump. It can learn Rain Dance, Swift. Ancient Power probably wouldn't be too bad to have in Future Sight. We don't use any of those past like Recover. I don't think we use any of its level movesets. We use TM movesets. So, most notably, I think we use Psychic with this Pokemon. I think it's Flying Psychic, technically. So, we can use Psychic. We can use Blizzard to have an extra Ice move. I think that's what we do. We might even have access to Iron Tail. but we don't use it. So very broad moveset. Don't get me wrong, it's a very broad moveset, but we really don't need to use it for too much because we just need this Pokemon to help us get through the Elite Four. So the Elite Four, we start off with Will. Will is the first trainer in the Elite Four. He starts off with an Exatu. We don't outspeed him, however, we do have type advantage, and we get a one-hit knockout with Thunder Punch. Jinx comes out, and with Quagsire and Jinx, we're going to go for Earthquake. Earthquake is a super effective stab move. It does not get the knockout, which is very weird because Jinx actually has a very low defense. I don't know why it wasn't a one-shot. I'm not going to argue with it, but I don't know why it wasn't a one-shot. So we're going to go with Typhlosion with the Executor. Executor can wreck your world. It's such a weird Pokemon, but it has such... Its typing is Grass Psychic, so it has some resistances, and also can just... It's just very bulky as well. It's a very high defense Pokemon and pretty good special. So Thunder's a one-shot on the Slowbro. Very good. Now you have Exatu come out. He gets a Psychic off. However, it does not knock us out. Very good. We beat Exatu and we move on to Koga. So Koga is the gym leader here now. And he has Poison type. A lot of his Pokemon are actually very weak to fire. So Ariados comes out first. Fire Punch. One-hit knockout. Very good. We move on to the next Pokemon. Fortress. Fortress, again, weak to fire. It's actually, I think, Grass Steel is what it technically is. That's its like typing. So we get the knockout there, and with the next Pokemon coming out, Muck. We don't really have anything great against Muck, but Earthquake does pretty good damage. So it's a two-shot. Very good. Get the win there. Venomoth comes out. Typhlosion is back to having the type advantage, so we go with Typhlosion. Fire Punch gets the knocks out on Venomoth. And then we have Crobat. Now, Crobat is kind of the tricky one because we don't have anything great against Crobat. It is considered flying. I think it's Flying Poison is his typing. And we had a Thunder, a one-hit knockout. Very good. I don't think we took really any damage there. I don't think. So now we're facing Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno very much, but Bruno, he basically has a better team than he has in Gen 1. Comes out with Hitmontop. Hitmontop, we're going to set up a Swords Dance on Hitmontop. And Swords Dance will coincide very well with like Wing Attack. Wing Attack does get a one-shot on the Hitmontop. So now he brings out an Onix. Now, we have a Flying type Pokemon. It's not going to do a lot against him, and I don't want to get him knocked out because his Flying type is very effective against all the other Fighting type. So that's why I switch into Poliwhirl. Hitmonchan comes out. We switch back to Quagsire. Quagsire gets a... I'm sorry. Make sure it's Quagsire and not... What's his name? I think I did that because he has Ice Punch. I think that's why I did that. I should just switch back to Skyther. I don't know why you wouldn't. Wing Attack super effective because they're Flying type, or they're Fighting type. Very good. And now we have a Hitmonchamp come out. And are we going to one-shot the Hitmonchamp? We are not, but he is going to one-shot us with Rock Slide. That's awesome. But we're going to go ahead and switch back to Quagsire, and Quagsire is going to do an Earthquake and get the knockout. Very good. And that's it. That's how we beat Bruno. Bruno's not very tough. We don't talk about him much, but we beat Bruno nonetheless. Now we have Claire. Claire is a Dark-type trainer. She comes out with Umbreon. Umbreon's our first Pokemon. So we don't have anything super effective. So I'm like, let's just see what Quagsire can do. And Earthquake does about a little more than a quarter, not quite a third. I guess it is, maybe it is a third. And we get dropped down pretty decent in health, but we get the knockout nonetheless. Now we come out with Vileplume. Vileplume, Grass-type Pokemon. Very easy decision here. Go right for Typhlosion. Use Fire Punch. It's not a one-shot. She attempts to poison us, or paralyze us, but it doesn't happen. Then Gengar comes out. We don't have anything super great against Gengar. Okay? But Earthquake does do pretty good against Ghost-type Pokemon. So Earthquake is a one-shot on the Gengar. Very good. I guess it is the one super effective move we have. So now we have Murkrow coming out. Murkrow is weak to Electric. So knockout with the Murkrow. Got knocked out by the Empress. And now it's Houndoom. Houndoom is a weird Pokemon because you can't even get this Pokemon until the post-game. It's a Pokemon specific to this generation. You can't even get it till the post-game. So after like reading the stats to you guys now, I know why like Poliwhirl is not getting anywhere near close like the damage yields it needs. So Ice Punch doesn't do squat. I was hoping for a freeze. But like nothing happens here. And I get knocked out. Okay, so Hyper Potion makes this battle start becoming a lot more difficult because we had it down to low health. All we needed something to come in and just get a good hit on it. But we're going to try and go for Area Blast, which is a one-shot, thank goodness. 100 base power move, 150% accurate. Very good. And now we're moving on to the champion, which is Lance. Lance, as Squidgy calls him, Lyra with the Flyers. I recommend Squidgy. Does a lot of Gen 2 playthroughs. So, it comes out with Gyarados. Blizzard doesn't do squat to the Gyarados. Area Blast does a little bit better, but Hyper Beam hits us for a decent amount, but we're going to have a whole turn to recover here. So we get the knockout very good. So now we bring out Dragonite. And I could have used Cyndaquil, or I'm sorry, Q-Lava for this, but I thought, you know what, I'll just use the more powerful Pokemon. It's gonna guarantee me a win if everything goes correctly. So we missed the Blizzard, he missed the Thunder Wave, thank God. And we get the knockout on the Dragonite. So he has 3 Dragonites. So he has more flying type than Dragonite. He has 5 flying type. Aerodactyl's flying type. All the Dragonites are, etc. Okay, and we get a knockout. Ooh, we do not get the knockout on. There we go. And we just need to get an attack off. Just need to get attack off. Very good. And Charizard's coming out, so we can switch into a water type if we want to, which is what we're going to do. Surf does just below half, so I think about 45%. It's okay. We still have plenty of Pokemon. If we get knocked out, we get knocked out. It's not the end of the world. Hyper Beam, almost one shot, so we got 2 turns to knock it out. We get knocked out in 1. And we are not going to learn Swift. There's no point in learning Swift right now. And then the last Pokemon is Dragonite. We're going to go right back to Lugia, and we're going to go for a Blizzard. We missed the Blizzard. Why we missed the Blizzard, I don't know. But we get to knock out with Blizzard, and we beat Lance. He's the champion. So we're going to set ourselves up to pause this here in a second. As soon as Professor Oak or Elm or whoever it is gets here. And come on, hurry up. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So I initially, like I said, had every intention of playing through this all the way to Red. But I didn't pick up a bike, and you have to have a bike to get through a certain part of the game. And it really just walled me off. And I could probably do the research and go find out where I was supposed to go and whatnot. But all in all, it did make sense. Just like, you know what, this is just supposed to be like a test run. Kind of test the waters and figure it out. I'm gonna pause that while we're there. So that was what this playthrough was just kind of re-familiarize myself with Pokemon Silver. And yeah, that's really what it was for. And I'm happy with the playthrough. It was a solid playthrough. Definitely some things that I learned from watching other YouTubers over the last year or two playing this game that I didn't know before. So it's going to be exciting in the playthrough, and I can't wait to start doing Silver playthroughs. But I just want to give you guys a little teaser for what it's going to be like. Like I said, 100%, I will be playing all the way through till Red, I promise. But after getting through that part and then starting to do the other part of the game where I can get to Red and Blue and so on and so forth, I was like, you know what? It just makes more sense for me to just stop it here, show what I've done, and then when I start doing playthroughs, it'll be a lot more polished. But one thing everyone for watching, this was the playthrough. This should have been aired on Wednesday, and you're going to see the playthrough for Kangaskhan airing on Friday. So I think you're all going to be excited about that. It's going to be a very good playthrough. You're going to enjoy it. But this has been JD's NerdVerse with a Pokemon playthrough of Silver. Just a casual playthrough. No real expectations other than to beat the Elite Four. So have a good one, and see ya.